Yo! Here lately we've been getting into some more serious builds, mainly cars and trucks, and we wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. And changing it up involves buying some different tools, not stuff that we'd normally use. Now, a lot of people use these already, but I just hadn't got around to it. So with some of the plans that I have for some future builds, there was a tool that I needed that I didn't have, and I'd been putting off buying one for a while, but I finally just bit the bullet. I bought me a bender. That being said, let's get after it. I'm going to be practicing with it today and using it to make what they call cheaters. And they're just fancy little pre-made angles so you can kind of figure stuff out ahead of time. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to swap out this die. I've got some 1-inch tubing. I'm going to swap it out with this 1.5 inch. We're going to try and bend up some cheaters in a 30, a 45, a 60, and a 90. And we're also going to figure out how much material each one of those uses. Now let's load it up with tube. So because this is a manual bender, I'm gonna start with the 90 so that I'm not wearing myself out doing a 30, a 45, a 60, and then have to wait to do the 90. There's no pneumatics to this. This is a hand pump, so I'm gonna be pumping this for a while. I've seen people, showing you how to get different ways of doing it with protractors and all that. I am way too lazy for that. So I got me one of these. This is a digital angle finder. It's got a magnetic base on it. It's a cheapie. I bought it off of Amazon. So I'm gonna set it on the tube and we're gonna see what happens. Also, I marked every inch for about 24 inches to see just how much material this actual bend takes. Now I had to leave about 3 inches on the front side so that this would fit. So I'll get this centered on here, get it zeroed up. We're gonna see if we can get a 90-degree bend out of this thing. So what I'm gonna do here is I'll pump it until I just start getting tension on the tube, and then I'll zero out this gauge because it's not gonna start bending until it's got tension on it anyway. Now, I might be doing that wrong, and if I am, please tell me. But I'm just gonna pump. Okay, there's some tension right there. And then I'm gonna zero this out. Okay. Now let's bend to 90. I wonder how long this is gonna take. If you're having trouble getting 90-degree bends out of your affordable bender, thread this piece out. This piece right here is run almost completely down. Back it out. You should be able to get the clearance you need. That looks like 90 degrees to me. I did get a digital protractor just to kind of check behind it. As it turns out, that digital gauge that I was using only reads up to 90 degrees and then it flips to the other 90 degrees, so it starts counting down. So when I was reading 87, it was actually 93 degrees. I overshot it where it was reading 87, 88, somewhere around there to allow for spring back. And when I let the pressure off of it, came out to a pretty good 90, but I'm gonna double check it with this. I'm gonna call that good. Now, I allowed 3 inches for the gauge to hang right here. So bend starts right in there. So I'm gonna just start here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say 10.5. So 10.5 inches in a 90-degree bend with inch tubing. Not bad. All right, got it loaded all back up, and we're gonna go for a 60. .2. I'm gonna go with that. Cool. And now the 45. Cool. 45.4. And last but not least, 30 degrees. take it. That'll work. I know I'm probably going to get roasted in the comments because I more than likely did something wrong, but I mean, if you got any suggestions, please tell me. If I did something wrong, let me know so it doesn't affect anything later on down the road. This was just 14 gauge, 1-inch ERW. I know a lot of people like to use DOM for a lot of projects, but just for the sake of this video, I bought a little bit of 1-inch ERW because DOM is expensive. Why did I buy a cheap compact bender? There's several reasons, and all of them involve building cool stuff. So let's say I wanted to put a new front bumper on this, but I wanted one that goes all the way across. I could do a tube across the front here with a 60-degree bend on each end. And I actually like that. I might do that. But let's say, I don't like the angle on the 60. Switch it up to a 90. No, that's a little too steep. 45. It follows this body line pretty well. That could work. I can use these inch marks to figure out how much material I need on each end for the bend and then add that to my centerpiece. So when I've got it all put together, I come out with a piece of tube that's exactly bent where I need it, and it comes out. Man, I actually might build this bumper. Won't be today, but I might actually do this. The possibilities are endless, so I'm kind of stoked about it. I really hope this takes us to the next level as far as builds and everything. I've also got an idea for a stand-up scooter that I want to do. If I can get that done in time, I'm going to take it with us to Mini Mayhem, along with the van, because that's coming along too. I'm going to have to practice a lot with this thing to get halfway decent at it, so you'll probably see me screw up a bunch of times. It was actually cool. I like doing it. This is the kind of stuff I've been looking forward to doing for a while. Now, there are a couple things that I'm not crazy about with this bender. I kind of figured there was going to be some drawbacks with it being a budget bender, but there's just some things that I'm going to have to change. One of them being, when you release this jack, it does not draw back up, and it kind of makes it a pain to take the tube out. I'm probably going to make another bracket right here if I don't just drill some holes in it and run springs. I've seen people do that, run springs all the way up to the top so that it pulls it back up and makes unloading a little bit easier. It's kind of a pain to load too, and I don't know if that's just because this piece needs to be worn in a little bit. It comes out of the die fine, it's just pulling it out of right here, and instead of having to pull this on and off, that's the other part of this bolt right here. I may actually replace this with some type of clevis pin or like a Reese hitch pin, just so if I do have to take this off, I don't have to get wrenches, take this bolt off. I can just pull a pin and yank it out. But all in all, I'm happy with it. But if you haven't already, you can like and subscribe. Make sure you use the links in the description to pick up a t-shirt from MiniBike Apparel. And until next time, y'all get up, get out there, and get after it.